Well, I mean, they put a decent score on the board, and you could have almost forgiven Zimbabwe, really, for just about giving up the chase, because they've qualified for the final. I mean, what's in it for us? But they didn't. They've got their show back on the road, and I think it's tremendous. They can now head towards the final next Saturday with fuller confidence.
Indeed. OK, David, thanks very much indeed. Well, let's go back then to the start of the day, start setting the scene for what was a memorable day's cricket. And first of all, let's check on how conditions were looking to Ian Botham.
Thanks, David, and still very cold up here in Durham, but the weather forecasters are telling us that this should be the end of the cold front. Well, it has a little way to go. The wind, though, is keeping the clouds moving, so fingers crossed it should stay dry. The wicket is dry, and look at it. Nice, even covering of grass. Very hard, feels very solid. And I think yesterday, the England batsmen showed you what a really good wicket this one is up here in Durham. They batted well on it, and they showed the West Indies there's lots of runs to score. And I think England could well have gone on and got 280, 300 yesterday. Terrific wicket, all credit to the ground staff. This looks just the same. If there is anything to be had in it, I think I would want to bowl first on here. As yesterday it showed, the England bowlers kept it in the right place, made it very hard for the West Indians. And I think whichever side wins the toss will probably want to do the same again. All in all, though, very good wicket, lots of runs in it if you play well. Little bit of bounce, but tennis ball bounce, not real quick bounce. Good wicket. Nice to see in this country. Back to you, David.
Well, that's the best pitch report I've seen today. Let's find out what happened with the toss and Paul Allott.
Thanks very much, David. We're all set out here in the middle for the toss. The two captains are with me, Jimmy Adams, Andy Flower, and Ranjan Madagali's here, the match referee. Jimmy has got the coin. He's going to toss, and Andy's calling. It's called heads. It's come down tails. Well, Jimmy, that's the first part. What are you going to do?
I'm going to bat first.
Very disappointing yesterday. Any changes to your side?
We have Nagamutu in for Franklin Rose.
And new pitch today. I'm a little bit surprised we weren't using the one yesterday, because it was, after all, a pretty good batting strip, wasn't it?
It was a good wicket. I expect this one to be probably just as good.
And the bottom line is that you've got to win today.
That's the bottom line, Paul.
And win well.
Yeah.
OK, thanks very much, Jimmy. Good luck. Andy, you've had a few days off and nice and relaxed. Still at the top of the table. Must be good.
Yeah, it is. The guys are feeling good, and we just want to come back from that last game at Old Trafford and play good cricket.
Now, you're bowling first on this pitch. Would you have liked to have batted first?
No, we're happy to chase.
Yeah, do you think there might be a little bit of moisture in this? There may be. There's been a lot of rain around in the preceding couple of weeks.
Well, looking at yesterday's pitch, it played really well, so I'm not too sure about that. But with these sort of conditions, there should be a bit of movement.
What about your side for today?
John Rennie, the newcomer into the squad, is getting a game instead of Paul Strang.
OK, so you're pretty balanced and happy with the way things are going?
Yeah, we just need to carry on that winning feeling.
OK, thanks very much, Andy. Very best of luck. So that's the story out here then. Jimmy Adams has won the toss for the West Indies, and he's elected to bat first.
Well, Andy Flower saying they were happy to chase. That was prophetic. Now, here are the teams for the competition today. Nagamutu comes in for his first game for West Indies, his debut. And Zimbabwe also making a change. John Rennie coming in for Paul Strang. Let's join the action. Brian Strang ready to bowl the first ball of the day. West Indies openers are out there, and in the commentary box, it's David Lloyd with Bob Willis.
Thank you, David. Yes, the opening batsman for the West Indies. The same as yesterday, Sherwin Campbell and Wavell Hines. They've chopped and changed their batting order. We saw Griffith and Gale in the first match, Gale and Campbell in the second, and now Campbell and Hines in the last two. They haven't been successful opening partnerships yet. Let's see how Campbell and Hines get on against Brian Strang. It's a very, very cold day here once again at Chester Street. It's even colder than yesterday. Just about 11.5 degrees centigrade. That's through, past point. And races away. The outfield a little bit quicker today.
Perfect example there of Campbell staying back in his crease. Gives himself a little bit of extra time by taking that step back, plays the ball square on the offside.
That's smashed away by Wavell Hines. Strang straying in length and direction and paying a very heavy penalty.
It's a terrific shot, but it shows the quality of the pitch too. Just fractionally short and wide from Strang at gentle pace.
Ball accelerating away from Dirk Viljoen for consecutive boundaries for Wavell Hines.
Another cracking shot. First one was square on the offside. This one, the more difficult shot to play through extra cover.
That's the best shot of the day so far. Hines smashing Rennie through the offside.
Third boundary for Wavell Hines, Caribbean style. Rocks onto the back foot. Terrific strength and power in that shot. Nobody moved. Offside didn't bother.
Off the outside edge, there's just the one slip. Brian Strang can't cut it off. The fifth boundary for the West Indies. 4 good ones and 1 lucky one.
And they all count.
Well, it was in the air for a while, but it's been smashed through wide mid-off for 4, timed quite beautifully by Hines. The 50's up for the West Indies in the 13th over.
Well, again, just as we said at the start of this over, 2 full. This is genuine half volley. And at this pace, there is a little bit of swing, but it's not going to make much difference at this pace.
That's a good shot. No question about that. Wavell Hines just hitting through the line of the ball, a little bit short of a length. Very trusting of the pitch. It's another very good pitch here at the Riverside Stadium, and it's the sort of pitch that produces shots like this. Swung away straight to the man out at deep mid-wicket. Stuart Carlisle takes what is a very simple catch out there. And given what's gone before, that's a very disappointing end for Wavell Hines. The change of pace, though, has worked for Zimbabwe. They needed that wicket. Dirk Viljoen has provided it, but not without some poor thinking from Wavell Hines.
We were just talking about the size of the ground and pretty difficult to clear this rope. Well, the fielders aren't even right back on the boundary. They are 10, perhaps 12 yards in from the boundary. And a very simple catch. Couldn't have been thinking about that shot. Wavell Hines.
Just over Andy Flower. No chance for the keeper really to react to something like that.
If you take those catches, it's pretty much luck, really. You can't see it and then react to it. He tried then, but by the time he reacted, the ball had gone.
Well, that's played into that area deliberately, quite deliberately, and he gets 4 runs. It wasn't so much an edge, that I can assure you. He was looking in that area. Guy Whittle, he's not amused, but I think credit to the batsman there.
Well, it's a little fella's shot. Sherwin Campbell always stays in his crease.
Well, I said there was time for a few sixes, and there's the first. I think he's been eyeing up that area. He's been looking at it. He knows he's hitting with the wind. He used all his experience.
Nifty footwork, no injury there. Full flow of the bat. Wide, long on, or straight mid-wicket, doesn't matter which, it's 6 rows back.
That's played quite deliberately. John Rennie, good fielding. Can't stop the 2. Excellent piece of fielding on the ground there. 4 runs from the over, but good fielding.
And Laura immediately calls 2. Deliberately placed shot, no slips in position. Angled back down to John Rennie. Blocks the boundary.
That's a great shot. Terrific shot through extra cover. He's picked his spot, and his batting partner enjoyed it as well.
They're a good pairing, Campbell and Lara. It's Campbell this time. A 50 partnership between the two. Beautiful shot.
Well fielded, terrific fielding. Oh, right in. Mind, he would never have known, in fairness to Viljoen. Dirk Viljoen had his back to what was going on.
Watch this unravel. He's not a hit it. Laura's gone. Ball has got it, thrown to the wrong end.
That's away for 4 as well. Just one bounce. A real long hop from Brian Strang. Weather warming up and the West Indies warming up too.
I just mentioned they've been putting the bad ball away efficiently. Nothing more efficient than that. Hit hard in front of square.
Yeah, go, tree.
Good work. Brian Strang with the slide and John Rennie with the throw.
Really good work this by Brian Strang. Managed to haul it back just in time.
That's 4 more through extra cover this time. Campbell chose his spot and executed the shot to perfection.
The 1s and 2s being picked off at will, and then the odd bad ball slightly over pitched. That's a good shot, deliberately played, upish over mid wicket.
Won't be there from Viljoen. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Davey, that just about sums up Zimbabwe's day.
It does. Fielding errors are slipping into the game.
Lara down the track, looking for that straight boundary, and he's found it. That's absolutely whistled into the fence. 12 from that Viljoen over. 7 overs from him, 1 for 45. The West Indies 199 for 1. And with 11 overs to go, 275 a definite possibility.
Yeah.
200 comes up. Nice piece of work from the Zimbabwe captain and keeper, Andy Flower, but Lara was always home very, very comfortably.
.200 up in the 40th over for the West Indies. It's a shame they've had to wait for the sun to come out. First time for 10 days before they've picked up the performance.
Oh, great shot. That's 4 all the way. So quickly onto it, Brian Lara. He's on to 50. There's a no ball as well, so he's streaked to have an extra delivery to bowl in this over. Scintillating stuff from the West Indies today. That's hoisted high. It's got to go a long way, and it does. Just felt it cleared the rope. The signal, though, from the fielder out there, I think Stuart Carlisle says 4 runs.
I think just for a minute, Brian Lara thought he might have picked Stuart Carlisle out here.
John.
Full toss has gone too high, is it? It's gone far enough. It's 6 more. Just for a moment I thought it might be dropping into the hands of Long On, but no, it's carried the boundary. Brian Lara really enjoying this now.
Lara cutting loose, not just like you, David. I thought you might have mistimed this. It's a real heave. He's hit it so high.
Looking for the gap wide of Long On. He's found it too. Hugh Street couldn't get round to it. Brian Lara using that back lift to good effect. It's a high back lift, it's a high follow through.
It's an onslaught this from Brian Lara now. 4-2, 6-4 in this over. And we thought the first 4 was a 6.
He's hit that well. That's 6 more. That's the best of them all in this over. 4-2, 6-4-6. Anyone recognises that phone number, don't phone.
22 off the over. We think it could be 24, but it's gone down as 22. 6-4-6 to finish with. And this, a glorious shot. Just opened up the stance a little bit.
Coming back for the second, no, changed their minds. Campbell had to rush back. Murray Goodwin was the man out at deep cover. Good piece of work from him. He was quickly onto the ball. It's good flat throw in from quite some distance again. And just testing Trevor Jesty, third umpire. Very, very clever indeed. Brian Lara anticipating that John Rennie's going to try and get it up there in the block hole and straight again. Worked it beautifully into the space.
Doesn't take batsmen very long to work bowlers out. They've had a successful over each, Rennie and Whittle. Rennie with another ball aimed for the block hole. Lara shuffles across outside off stump.
Campbell will look for 2, he'll get him. That's his 100. Great stuff from Sherwin Campbell, his second one-day international 100. The first one also came against Zimbabwe early in the year, while Zimbabwe were in the Caribbean. These two get on famously. And Brian Lara and the whole dressing room really appreciating that innings of Sherwin Campbell's. That's over the top. And skates away. 4 more runs. Guy Whittle with too much width offered to Sherwin Campbell. This now is a career best for Sherwin Campbell. That previous 100 was 103. Bowl in. That's the end of Brian Lara. Well, Dirk Viljoen must have been worried about having to bowl at this man again. That last over he bowled him went for 20 plus. He's got him now though. Lara on his way back. It'll be a standing ovation. It's been a great knock.
Certainly has. It's warmed the crowd. It's warmed the West Indies. They're back on song due to Brian Lara's wonderful innings. 87 from 76 balls. Lara receives a standing ovation here at the Riverside.
Line out.
Dirk Viljoen continues the over. A wicket and a run from the first 2 balls. Ricardo Powell is the new batsman. He can strike a cricket ball too. Perfect man, it seems, to come in at this situation, although, of course, never easy just to pick it up. And another wicket. Well, Viljoen has struck twice in 3 balls. Alistair Campbell, the catcher, at mid-wicket. Campbell caught Campbell. Sherwin, the disappointed man. Alistair, the happy man. So 2 very fine innings coming to a halt in the space of 3 balls, and showing Campbell, disappointed though he might be at the shot, always seems to have a smile on his face, can be very happy with the way he's played today.
Rather tame end, really, to a splendid innings. He'll be annoyed and frustrated with himself for getting out so soon after Brian Lara. 2 new batsmen at the crease now for the West Indies. But at the same time, he'll be absolutely delighted to have made 100 on his adopted ground.
Chris Gayle taking his place on the field.
It's very well bowled. It's going to cost him 2 runs, though. Unlucky, but that's the way it goes when it's running against you. Almost the perfect first delivery. Dug out and fetched 2 runs. Well, there's going to be one of them. Chipped away, Alistair Campbell. He's had probably 2 of the easiest catches he'll take in the last couple of overs. It's the end of Chris Gayle.
This is always liable to happen. This end of the innings, you either find the ball being hit all over the park or wickets start to tumble. Chris Gayle there trying to come down the pitch, trying to get to the ball before those Yorkers are speared in. But it was a slow delivery. Hit very high on the bat.
The call 2. They're taking on the strongest arm, and I think they're going to lose that one. I think the third umpire's being called, but I think I'm backing the fielder.
Ricardo Powell was adamant that there were 2 runs there. We'll see.
Well, I don't think Ricardo Powell's waited for the lights to go on. He's seen it, and he makes his way off. And that's the end of the West Indian innings. 287 for 5 from their 50 overs. That's a formidable target in one-day cricket. Plenty for the Zimbabwean batsman to do. West Indian supporters at last having something to shout about. It's been a subdued performance in the one-day competition so far, but that will do a lot for their confidence. They have a very tough task to qualify. Well, they've done the first part.
Whittle onto the front foot, he'll pick up a couple here. Nagamutu doing the fielding. It's going to be fascinating to see some West Indian leg spin in a one-day match. Nagamutu replacing Franklin Rose today. No ball and runs from the bat as well. Powell chasing out towards the square leg boundary.
Three runs in all for that, 1 for the no ball, 2 off the bat. Good shot this by Guy Whittle, kept his head still, didn't fall over.
John Hampshire lifts the finger. That's disappointment for Neil Johnson. Not at his best, I didn't feel, after suffering that injury in the field. It's not what Zimbabwe wanted, losing their Most prolific one-day batsman Neil Johnson has gone, though, to that inside edge, well taken by Jacobs. First blood lend to Mervyn Dillon. Murray Goodwin comes out to join Guy Whittle. That's an important wicket for the West Indies, Neil Johnson.
That's too short, though, this time. Guy Whittle almost waiting for it. And the fact he had to delay the shot meant that he couldn't quite get the power in it to reach the boundary. Still worth 3.
Ball sits up. Whittle gets it through mid-wicket.
Chipped away. Merv Dillon has just strayed a wee bit in his line and length in this over. So much so, it's 7 runs from the over, 8 overs gone, 29 for 1. He's got away with that too. Big inside edge, gone very fine. Now, normally speaking, you'd expect a man of Goodwin's qualities to be in the right position, would have come off the meat of the bat, maybe gone just behind square on the offside, and have been worth just the same, i.e. 4 runs. Needed a lot of luck here.
Well, he's got the look. Maybe just what he needs to kick-start his innings. He's hit the bottom of the bat often.
Oh, fine shot. Helped over the infield. It's got all the legs it needs to get past that boundary. Very well timed.
Middle of Guy Whittle's bat. Just picks up on the angle. The ball delivered just a little bit wide of the crease and darted down the leg side, full of length.
That's a fine shot too. Short. This time hammered away. First real shot of authority that Murray Goodwin has played. Good enough to bring up the 50 as well.
Well, he's found the middle of that bat. He's been elusive. Strong on the hook. And fed a good diet there. Well in touch here, Zimbabwe.
He's caught it. It's the man we've been talking about, Ricardo Powell. He was in the perfect position and proving that if you cut it all down there nicely, get yourself steady, you can catch even those ones. That was flying off the bat. Powerfully hit, and it just picked him out.
Good catch in that business area. Drive that's not come off, but he's really close in there, Ricardo Powell. Good bowling, beaten the 2 previous deliveries by Merv Dillon, cut in half.
That's a good shot. That's going to go for 4 through mid-wicket. Good shot from Murray Goodwin.
Certainly was a good shot. Just fractionally short there from Mervyn Dillon. That's the nature of Goodwin. Whenever you're fractionally short, he cuts and he pulls. Not a very tall man. Won't be coming a long way forward with that stature.
To hurry here.
Yeah.
And that's overthrows. 5 runs. The overthrow skittling away for 4.
The Ricardo Powell is the man that did the throwing. And Mr. No one was doing the backing up. 2 men on the onside, Jimmy Adams and Brian Lara. One of them should have been heading in that direction to do the backing up.
Oh, trouble here. It's a fumble, still trouble, but Campbell has gone in the end. Well, Nagamutu, the fielder, there was all sorts of confusion between the batsmen. Nagamutu fumbled. Campbell is furious, whether it's with himself or Murray Goodwin, we'll never know. But it doesn't matter, he's been run out.
Took a long time to get the ball back to the stumps, but eventually they did get it back. Lots of confusion here between Campbell and Goodwin. I think the same problem that we were talking about earlier on with saying wait before the ball gets past the fielder instead of saying yes. It hadn't gotten past Nagamutu yet.
Zimbabwe's captain Andy Flower is at the crease, just taking guard. He's already had a chat to Murray Goodwin after a horrible misunderstanding between Campbell and Goodwin. A fumble from Nagamutu. Had time to look up, look down, pick the ball up. Poor throw, really. Edged down.
Over left hand.
Well, Nagamutu could have got a wicket with his 12th ball in international cricket, but Ridley Jacobs has spilled the chance.
Bowling fairly quickly, Nagamutu, getting just a bit of turn. Straight in and straight out.
Carved away, and that's going to be 4 runs. In the air, I have to say that Dixon McLean is proving somewhat expensive.
Not a bad responses by Zimbabwe. Might be a little bit worried about being a wicket too far down. Andy Flower strong in that area, hitting short and wide, and he uses the pace, goes behind square.
Well, that's got to have a chance. Now, the umpire's not interested, and then the throw hits the stumps. It's all going on here. John Hampshire's going to have a look, but Andy Flower doesn't look very confident, does he?
No, I think his immediate reaction, he knows he's short.
Well, the right decision, Phil. Andy Flower, I think, knew he was out. He started to walk.
Bye.
It's pulled away. That doesn't do any harm at all.
It'll help, doesn't matter how many you got on the boundary. It's very hard to protect. A slow long hop.
Still got to be put away, and Murray Goodwin latched onto it quickly.
Very, very short. Murray Goodwin. Very good hooker and puller, particularly of the quicks.
Yes.
Well, he's got much more bat onto that. He's going to go to 4 runs on it. Brian can get there, can he? He does. He gets the left boot on it. His Trinidadian great friend, Dwight York, would have been proud of that little touch on the boundary rope. So that takes Murray Goodwin through to 50. He's now 51 not out. Well, that's fetch. You can call it many shots, you can call it the fetch, the slog, sweep, whatever you want to call it. But that's effective. That's out the middle of the bat.
I call it 4. Straight out the middle of the willow.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Well, he's got that away now. That's gone fine, and that's going to go for 4. Not where Murray Goodwin intended, I can assure you.
We were just talking about that and illustrating those 2 positions behind point, Jim. Your man just behind point should be in close for the single, and your man in 45 should be on the edge to save that shot.
And that's a cutaway this time. 150 comes up. They've run well too, that's good stuff. 3 runs takes Zimbabwe past 150, 151 for 4. Interesting though, bowl it slow, you get some turn. Nagamutu, as his spell develops, in the ball quicker and quicker. Didn't have the courage, didn't have the confidence to allow the ball to hang in the air.
Well, it's an appalling throw. Should have been another run out. Wavell Hines running in from behind square on the offside.
It's these little basic skills that letting the West Indies down. Pick up, underarm throw, that's all was required there.
Misfield. Zimbabwe slowly but steadily shifting the pressure onto the West Indies here. The 200's up for Zimbabwe, just under 10 overs to go. They need an awful lot of runs at 9 and over, but this partnership's still going, now worth 97. He's helped it on its way for 4. Good thinking. That's the first Zimbabwe boundary for 13 overs, and made that boundary like the blue touch paper here. Zimbabwe needs some fireworks to ignite if they're going to get up to this massive total. That's a big blow. A superb piece of improvisation by Grant Flower. He's moved on to 49. Zimbabwe aren't done yet.
All systems go for Zimbabwe. Grant Flower using his feet to get down the pitch here. And when he realised he wasn't quite there, look at this bottom hand come in to drag the ball over mid-wicket.
Well, they'll settle for 1. It takes Grant Flower to his 50. Had a wretched time in the Test series. But both he and Alistair Campbell have now found a bit of form for the Zimbabweans. In one-day cricket, it's made an enormous difference. Change of pace from McLean. That's going to beat Lara into the boundary. 3 boundaries in the over. 14 from the over. McLean has the embarrassing figures of no wicket for 63 from 10 overs. There are big problems here now for Jimmy Adams. Zimbabwe are biting back. Down to long on. And taken. Well, the fielder's very close to the rope. I think he's indicating that, in fact, he's gone over the rope. It's Ricardo Powell down there. John Holder just having a word with Trevor Jesty, who's asking our director to have a look at the incident again. Back goes Powell. So 6 is the verdict. Powell well over the boundary.
That's Murray to wins 100. And he's played really well. It's his second one, and he's done it again. He raises the bat, points it to his teammates who are all out on the balcony, and quite rightly so. If Zimbabwe win this, one of the best games I've seen for a long time, Mikey. You'll see what. Well, that's a great shot. Great shot. It's 4 there. Grand Flower, when he gets that bottom hand in, when he picks that line, it goes a long way. Tempted Yorker, low full toss. Not always the easiest ball to hit, but this is pretty impressive.
Wasn't low enough. Picked it up quite nicely, Grand Flower.
Now, was that a chance? Did it go straight through his hands? Might well have done. Hit pretty firmly. Would you put this down as a chance? That's 2 runs, bringing the 2.
Full toss. Was through his hands before he actually closed them. And perhaps a fraction over them as well.
Well, that's dragged, and that's dragged a long way now. 4 runs. Now that part, what a way to bring up the 150 partnership. These 2 are going great rate of knocks.
Well, that's the one boundary that they need per over. They need at least 1. Grand Flower just gave them the 1. So 5 runs so far. 6 runs rather. And 4 balls to go.
Slow ball. It's been clubbed down the ground. And it's going to go to the boundary. Attempted slow ball, full toss. And it's hit well.
2 overs in a row. The first delivery has gone for 4. Not the best way to start the over. Not too sure that these deliveries are needed at this point. Slow deliveries. I think he's fortunate that it wasn't called a no ball as well.
Yeah, swung away, but quite safe. It's 2 more to the total. That's a great shot. That's going to go for 4. The last ball goes for 4, and it goes through extra cover. An expensive over, 14 runs from it. $273 now. A loss of 4.
Well, we saw the line previously being somewhere close to leg stump. Now this one is full in length outside off stump. Well, it's a bit difficult to pit bowl so many different lines, so many different lengths, and have the correct field.
It's hit well. There's going to be at least 2 here. Brian Lara did well. But they're going to get 3. Brian Lara did very well. There's 2 players converging on that. He kept his eye on it and managed to get his boot to it. But it was short.
Could have collided quite easily there. Mervyn Dillon and Brian Lara running towards that ball. Very good fielding. Saved 1 run.
There'll only be 1 this time. Now, 11 to win from 10 balls. It's not where he wanted it, but he'll pick up the single. He'll take it.
A runner ball, that's all that's required.
It's well bowled. Now it's in the air. Is it safe? It is. Falls in the gap. And that's 2 more. So it's 8 to win from 7. Desperately need a dot ball. West Indies to give Rhian King something to bowl at. Zimbabwe want to capitalise. And that's clubbed away, and that's 4. It's a full toss. It's not the best delivery of the bowl. 284 for 4. 4 runs then off the last over for Zimbabwe to win this. And you have to say, Mikey, you have to be a little bit disappointed with the performance of the West Indians in the field.
A nice high full toss. No one in the mid-wicket region. And an easy 4.
Yeah, the best chance he's got, Mike, isn't it? He needs a wicket with the first ball and get a new batsman facing. That's his chance, I think. If these two stay unbroken, they win. Simple as that. So he's got to get a wicket.
I would think the only chance is a hat-trick.
Well, no ball's not required. Well, what can I say?
The same thing I was talking about, lack of discipline. There was no discipline in the length that was being bowled, no discipline in the line. It was all over the shop, and now the first delivery and no ball. How can a professional bowl a no ball in the last over?
Well, it's down to 2 wins. Very good win. He went on to career best in one-day internationals. 112, beating this previous best, 111. 2 runs to win then. Well, that'll do. That's the end of it. That is one of the most magnificent victories I've seen in one-day cricket. The West Indies, they will have to do a lot of thinking. The Zimbabweans have shown what a great unit they are. They all work for each other. Nothing is impossible. They worked for each other, had early losses, a couple of run-outs. They didn't let it get on top of them. They hung in there, and a partnership, an undefeated partnership of 186 sees them home with 5 balls left, chasing 287 and 6 wickets. 112, and Grant Flower, brother of Andy Flower, 96 not out from just 86 deliveries. Celebrations all around the ground. It's excellent. There come the players up the stairs. And there they are, all celebrating. And why wouldn't you? One of the greatest pictures I've seen. This is the winning runs. And that's hit over mid-off. And hit magnificent. Look at that reaction. And only 4 wickets down for Zimbabwe, 5 for the West Indies. 577 runs in a day for the loss of just 9 wickets. Well, that's testament to how good an effort by the ground staff here, and how good are wickets they've been prepared for this one-day cricket. That's what one-day cricket's about. And the match summary: West Indies 287 for 5 from their 50 overs, and Zimbabwe, all kinds of trouble early on, they win by 6 wickets, 290 for 4. Murray, good win, 112 not out. Grant Flower, 96 not out.